Hello everybody, hope you're doing marvellously well. I've got a fun one here because our very good friend, Mr. Kristian Kohle of Kohlekeller Studios, who I'm sure you might know because he's a really quite a well-known and very, very good German metal producer, engineer, mixer, guitar player, you name it, who also happens to have an incredibly good YouTube channel. Link below, photo coming in here. One of the best guitar recordists I think I know in that genre, and drums, to say the least. A real aficionado. I mean, half of his videos, I'm exaggerating, but a huge proportion of the videos, he talks about speakers. I mean, this guy is obsessed with guitar tones. Well, he made a pedal called the Grindstein, and which he still hasn't sent me. Kristian. Anyway, but I've heard it, and it is phenomenal. And now what he's done is he's made a plugin of it. He's got a plugin of the Grindstein. I'm super excited to try it out. Also, if you stick around for a few extra minutes after I've been messing around with it, we'll have a few words from Kristian himself, who will tell us a bit about the design. So here we have the Black Sabbath cover of course, Paranoid, one of the greatest rock songs of all time. And I did record it with some amp sims, but I also recorded a DI. Here's the tones that I had on the original. Cool tone. Quite happy with it, quite frankly. But I did record a DI. So I'm going to just solo that main guitar rhythm here. Bit of reverb on it. And I didn't go super, super heavy on this track because, you know, it's Black Sabbath, early Black Sabbath. It's not like modern metal. But let's see what we can do with the Grindstein. Now, there's a bunch of really fun things here. There's a gate right at the beginning here, and which is great because lots of people have got gate plugins and all kinds of fun things. This is built in. He's built in a gate. So let's have a listen. Oh, it's already awesome. You know, just let me play you the DI. This is the before. And here's the after. This is just stock as it opens up. If you look down the bottom here, you'll see gate, you'll see the Grindstein, EQ, cab, and then an output. Now, here, of course, you can turn the input up and down here, output up and down, like so. And it looks like if you just hit option, it goes back to 0. Okay, so I could turn on the gate by pressing the gate pedal button here, and then the little light comes on here, and so does this. Let's have a listen. I don't have a particularly noisy guitar signal to put it on. One of the great things about DIs, of course, is, you know, unless you're in a situation where you've got a buzz that you're getting on there, you don't really need a gate on it, but it's there if I wanted it. But here's the boost control. It's also got a boost control as well. Okay, so you could probably just use this, buy the plugin and use this if you wanted to use other things, go into an amp sim, whatever. You've got a way of boosting and you've got a threshold. Anyway, that's the least of what we got here. So this is where it gets really exciting. Here is the Grindstein. So you've got tons of control. So by the looks of this, it looks like this could be a mix control between the mid cut and a high. I go here. Yeah. I mean, they're basically opposite sounds. One's doing this, one's doing that. I'll leave it flat at the moment. Here's some mid-cut. Oh, I see. Got a bright, dark bass. Phase. Crazy. Effects loop. All right, I'm just going to do it before and after. And here's my before guitar. This is going to be immense. Absolutely immense. All right, now let's go to the cab. Well, let's just go to the EQ. So now it's also got an EQ. So we've got a gate. We got the Grindstein, which I just had a lot of fun with. And then you got an EQ, which we're going to turn on with the pedal here. Input, dozer. Woo. We've got some big speakers here. They're going to be rattling. Scoop. Chainsaw. A lot of mid-range. Blade. Off. On. Yeah, baby. And now we've got cab emulations. It's defaulted to more gore. Wow. With good selections of IRs, you can really hear a difference. Filth and slime. More gore, which is what we had before. Modern disgust. Modern gore. Northwards. Oh. Wolverine. And Bloodbath, or Bloodpath. New wave of British metal down here. It's either Wolverine for me or more gore. What do you reckon? I think it's the more gore where we started from, because I shaped it going through that IR. Wow. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this down to the other side. So now I've got both these guitars. I've got that sound on. So now I've got it on both the left and the right. Here is the guitar sound with just the DI going into an inexpensive interface. So this didn't even go through like a $5,000 mic pre or anything like that. So this is just the plugin on the guitars. Can we get heavy Black Sabbath?
Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I am frowning all the time.
Pretty freaking awesome. Okay, now we're going to go back to the original recordings I did with the original amp sim. Let's just go and get some chunky rhythm parts. Back to the Grindstein, which of course I want to turn up now to match that. It's pretty freaking awesome, isn't it? What a great pedal. And it's made with Audiority. And I got to have a lovely chat with Luca, who is Audiority, a lovely, fine Italian chap who is stupidly talented and very passionate and takes a long frickin' time doing this. He doesn't just crank these out in 20 seconds. So, yeah, I'm impressed. Kristian and Luca, you did a wonderful job. Let's hear from Kristian, and he's going to tell you a little bit more detail and probably explain things that I missed or I don't quite understand. Over to you, Kristian.
Yes, I'm very excited about this release. It's my first plugin, my first guitar plugin, and I think it's something special. And there's nothing else out there that sounds quite like the Grindstein. It started with this hardware pedal here that we call the ultimate death metal preamp, the hardware Grindstein that I released together with Klirrton something like 3 years ago, just for fun. But it became a huge success. So we sold hundreds and hundreds of units. And yeah, then 1.5 years ago, we teamed up with Audiority from Italy, a great plugin company, and started working on the digital version, which took us 1.5 years until now, especially because it was quite hard to capture the fuzzy type of distortion and those extreme filters in the digital world. But it sounds amazing now. I love it. Yeah, the sonic vision behind the pedal and the plugin. Many people these days believe that modern metal guitar tones are too clean, too controlled, kind of boring, not rock and roll enough, not punk rock enough if you want. So they want to go back to something that sounds a little more wild, a little more out of control, a little more kaputt, if you know that German word. And yeah, that's what we wanted to deliver. So we went back in history and we found the infamous Boss HM2 Heavy Metal 2 pedal. That was responsible for the Swedish death metal chainsaw guitar tone in the 90s. And that is still used by a lot of people who want to sound a little more dirty and brutal in doom, in sludge, in stoner rock, But we also found out this pedal actually sounds pretty shitty. Very compressed, very loose low end. It's kind of hard to use it. Very out of control. Very noisy. I just talked to John from Monuments, and he told me he loves the HM2, but he said the right thing. He said, you got to write riffs that suit the HM2. You can't play anything, because that pedal is just so over the top. So that's where we started. And we added one channel to this pedal, or the plugin, which is based on the HM2, so that fuzzy chainsaw distortion. And then we added another channel and a big mix knob in the middle, so you can blend those two channels. So one channel is chainsaw, fuzzy distortion with some very extreme filters, so those three knobs up here. And the other side is a little boring sounding transistor distortion, but this one is just intended to give you the right amount of low end, and tight distortion. That means by blending those two channels, you will always sound dirty, but you can go from full terror and full chainsaw, total mayhem, to something that sounds a little more, controlled. And you can even get pretty modern metal tones with just a touch of chainsaw or touch of fuzz. There's also a boost in front of those two channels, so you can add more gain and make it tighter, and a lot of bells and whistles. We also added some functions that are not possible in the analog world on the plugin. The difference between the plugin and the pedal is that the plugin is an entire rig, and you just need this plugin, nothing else. There are 4 main pages. You got a noise gate to begin with an additional level boost. It's not a gain boost. Noise gate. Then you have the heart of the pedal, of course, the Grindstein, which basically looks like this. And then we have another EQ where you can furthermore tweak your guitar tones. And I worked a lot on this EQ, and it's a beautiful sounding EQ. And look at that piggy. It's called Fleisch. And it's kind of like my death metal Pultec, a very idiot-proof EQ for people like me. So that means you can either cut or boost with each band. And the bands have like simple names, you know, one is called Chainsaw, the other one is called Dozer, the other one is called Scoop. So everybody will immediately understand, and it's very musical sounding. Just tweak them. And you can also use that EQ without the Grindstein. Recommended. Try that. Very, very nice musical guitar EQ for high gain tones. And finally, we got an IR player with 7 different IRs. From the one in the middle sounds kind of normal and nice. And if you go more to the outside in either direction, it gets more extreme. Because don't forget, the whole plugin is about sounding dirty and not about sounding nice. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. Everybody check out the Grindstein. Either the hardware or the plugin has been released today by Audiority. I'm sure Warren will put a link here. Yeah, leave a comment how you like this and how you like Warren playing a brutal pedal like this.
You know what? Before we move on, before we do anything else, let's have some fun with this. I'm going to open it up on a vocal.
Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. She was thinking so because
Let's try it with a gate.
finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I am frowning all the time.
Oh, now it gets played with the gate.
Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind.
That's what I was thinking. If it's really good, I could use it on other things, like vocals.
Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I'm frowning all the time.
I've duplicated my drum sub, and just for the heck of it, all right, I got it on Blood Path. I set that to the dark. I brought the tone down a bit, the high end down a bit, I should say. Now put the two things together. All right, I'm having too much fun. Kristian, you rock. What a great plugin. I know I'm going to be one of about 35,000 people that's reviewing this today because it's being released today. Link down below to purchase it. Yeah, really cool. He's really thinking, isn't he? He's got a gate on it, which was great on the vocals. He's got the pedal itself. He's got EQ. And he's got a cab emulation. And you can see how much that really changes the EQ as well. Wow. Great, great work. Thank you ever so much. I hope you enjoyed that. If you do end up buying it and trying it, please, let me know. Or if you've tried out on the free trial, just let us know how you got on down below. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, tschüss, goodbye.